Hi friends, today you would have all seen that the chief guest for India's Republic Day for 2021 of this year was Mr. Boris Johnson, who was the Prime Minister of United Kingdom or Britain or British people. Yeah, so he has cancelled his invite or his visit to India, and the reason he did it was because there was a rising case of corona or COVID-19 in his country. Yep. So the reason I'm making this video is so that I can talk with you or tell you about the history of chief guests whom we had on Republic Day in India and their background, which all country they were from, what they did, who all were these people, and a little bit of some interesting facts so that you could know, and if there was any time when we had a chief guest or we did not have a chief guest. So I would request to you that you would even be surprised that we had chief guests on the Republic Day from our very neighboring country Pakistan also. So what I would like, let me go take you through the video. I would like to request you to watch till the end and take this moment somewhere here in the middle to hit the subscribe button at below. Yeah, to start with, first thing, as you know, India became a republic in the 1950, and that's how, and it's only after that we started having Republic Day celebrations. So to begin with, yeah, so before that we never had a chief guest. Yep. To say, let us say with a little bit of statistics, see, first thing, there were 3 years in which we did not have any guests on Republic Day, and I think 2021 would be the fourth. Those years are 1952, 53, 66, and let us say maybe 2021. Yeah. So why were there no guests? We'll come back to that later. But before that, I would just take you through a little bit of history of which all countries we had guests from. The list is long, so maybe I'll just go through it very fast. Okay, I can maybe skip it and put the data on screen maybe. Maybe I'll read it for you. Yeah. So till now we had 81 guests for Republic Day. Now you would be surprised that we did not have 81 years of India being a republic. So how come we had 81 guests? That's because on many occasions we had 2 people, and on 1 or 2 occasions we had all the heads of the Asian countries, which is basically Southeast Asian Association of Southeast Asian countries coming together. So that was all the people together, head of these states together. So total 81 times we had chief guests. 81 people basically were chief guests. Few of them came more than once. For example, Lady Mountbatten. Yeah, Lady Mountbatten was the chief guest. Was chief guest 2 times, but both times she was not the only chief guest. She was also a chief guest, another chief guest. Yeah. So let us start because these guest invitations from people have come from all over the world, and these are basically a way to secure diplomatic ties with different countries. So starting with Southeast Central Asia, yeah, which is our region. So we had guests from Afghanistan once. Bhutan we had guests 4 times, yeah. Kazakhstan, Maldives, Myanmar all once, Nepal 2, Pakistan 2, and Sri Lanka twice. Yep. After Southeast, then we go to East and Southeast Asia. We had from Brunei once, Cambodia twice, China once, Indonesia thrice, Japan twice. I'm just reading from here. Laos once, Malaysia once, Philippines once, Singapore 2, South Korea once, Thailand twice, Vietnam twice. Yeah, then we can go to West Asia and Sahara Africa. Algeria once, basically the Middle East in West, yeah, Africa, Sahara Africa part, yeah. Algeria once, Iran once, Saudi Arabia once, and UAE once. Moving on to East Africa, we had from Mauritius thrice, Tanzania once, Zambia once. Let's go to Eastern Europe. Bulgaria once, Poland once, Yugoslavia 2, Russia 4 times. Yeah. Western Europe and North America, we had Belgium once, Denmark once, France 5 times, Greece once, Ireland once, Portugal once, Spain once, UK 6, USA once. Latin America and Caribbean, Mexico once, Trinidad and Tobago once. South America, Argentina once, Brazil 3, Peru once, and Australia once. So if you have seen the number of countries that I have said till now, you would have realized that the highest number of guests that we had was from UK 6 times, which is basically including Boris Johnson this time. So if it does not come, it would be 5, and that would be equal to France, from which we had chief guest 5 times, and after that is Bhutan 4 times and Russia 4. So you see all these countries, we have diplomatic ties, very strategic ties, the highest, and then after that it's Indonesia and Mauritius, which were 3 times. Then there are a lot of countries who's head of the state and other dignitaries. You should also remember that it's not always the head of the state who comes there. Many times dignitaries like Chief Justice, Chief of Defence Staff who also come. For example, Lord Mountbatten was the Chief of Defence Staff when he was Chief Guest to India. Yeah. Sometimes even the king of those countries come, and if the president is the president, and if the prime minister is prime minister. Yeah. Yep. So, important part. Let's go to the times the British were called. Because why British? Because we were a British colony and we got independence from Britain. I would not go into all the 81 guests who had come. I would just talk on the major ones. So basically what I am concentrating here on 3 countries, basically more UK, because the Prime Minister of UK is not coming this year. Pakistan, because it is neighbor and we have not so very nice ties with them. We don't trust them. They're not a nice country for us. Yeah. Russia, yes, we'll talk about it maybe some other day, because I want to keep the video short and not very long. So let us talk about the times. I'll also tell you the 3 times, and this would be the 4 times why we did not have just chief guest, but I'll reserve it till the end. Yeah. So in 1956, I'm just talking about the chief guest from UK. In 1956, the chief guest was Chancellor of Exchequer, Rab Butler. Yeah. Why I'm saying his position, because as Chancellor of Exchequer, he was not the Prime Minister, he was not the head of the state. He was not. And that time he was also not the only chief guest. He was chief guest along with Chief Justice Kotaro Tanaka of Japan. So he was one of the chief guests among the 2. Then in 1959, the chief guest was Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, and that gentleman was the husband of Queen Elizabeth II, the current Queen of England. So after 1959, just 2 years after that, in 1961, the chief guest was Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of England, who is still there. Yeah. And after that, in 1964, the guests from Britain were Chief of Defence Staff Lord Mountbatten. If you remember Lord Mountbatten, we would have read him very well in the history books. He was one of the main people during India's independence and partition, all those stuff. Yeah, and after 1996, we had, after a very long time, I think 29 years, in 1993, it was the British Prime Minister John Major who was the guest. And after 1993, that was the list of people we had from United Kingdom, Britain, our former people from whom we got freedom. Yeah, interesting part for you to know, just showing you history. So it's not the first time that a British Prime Minister was invited, someone from Britain was invited. Yeah, the next interesting parts. Okay, from Pakistan, as I told you, we had twice we had people who were invited to our Republic Day. So in 1955, it was Governor General Malik Ghulam Muhammad. Yeah, 1955. I think he was born in Punjab, studied in Lahore, went to Pakistan after the separation. So some Indian history with him background. He also founded a company called Mahindra Muhammad Company. So I would not go deep into his life, because this video is not about his life. This video is about the guests who visited India. So after 1955, the 10 years after that, in 1965, the chief guest was Food and Agriculture Minister of Pakistan, whose name was Rana Abdul Hamid. In 1965. So yeah, so we never had a head of state from Pakistan as a chief guest. but 2 occasions where we had chief guests. So, as I told you, or as you would have realized, we could have people who are not prime minister, not head of, who are not the head of the state also visiting. So just to give you I'll come to the point, the years on which we did not have. But before that, just to give you a small data. Till now, we had like 34 presidents who visited, 18 prime ministers who visited us, 9 times it was the king, and once it was the Queen Elizabeth, yeah. And once it was also the crown prince, and I think that was for Bhutan. Yep. So at once we also had a person who was, I think, associated with a political party, not related to the government, and I'm not sure about this, but his position when he was invited was first secretary to Polish United Party. And that was the only once that invitation was sent to Poland, but I'm not sure that if he was part of the government then, or he became a part of the government in future, or if he's a part of the government in past. But yeah, that is how it has been told. So 3 years when we did not have guests. So 1952 and 1953. These were right, I think, 2 years after we became a republic. So unfortunately, there were no invitations sent. Why they were not sent, there is no reason which is available for that. So yeah, 2 years, 52 and 53, there's no. But in 1966 is the year where there was no invitation sent, but there's a reason, there could be a probable reason for that, because as you know, 26th January being the Republic Day, unfortunately on that year, on 11th January, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri died in Tashkent. Nobody knows how he died. Some says he poisoned, some says it was natural death. But that's another story that I can make a video on. But if you would like that video, do comment below. And yeah, 11th January, Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri died, and Indira Gandhi took oath as a Prime Minister on 24th of January 1966. That was just 2 days before Republic Day. So I think that either did not have enough time to invite, or they were involved in other things that they did not have time to decide whom to invite or who would invite. Yeah. So yeah, 3 occasions, and 2021, as we know, is basically Boris Johnson, who is not coming. Yeah. So that is all for this video. Let me know if you would like to know about other head of the states who were invited. What could interest you is Russia. We had invited them 4 times, and we also have very good ties with Russia. France, we invited their head of the state 5 times. We have good ties with France. Even the most discussed these days Rafale deal, or the Rafale jet, or the Rafale fighter planes were bought from France. Long history of diplomatic ties. So yeah, do let me know in comment below if you would like to have video I gave you directions, or if you want for any other country like Zambia or Mexico or Peru when they were invited. Yeah, so let me know in the comment below, and thank you. And if you have watched till now, then do please subscribe to the channel below by clicking the subscribe button. That helps and encourages me. Thank you.